Gary, here we are, Milton Keynes again for the Premier League. Excited about the blocks ahead?
Am I? Yeah, it's going to be a bit different. You know, it's usually every Wednesday on the road, play Thursday, then on to next travel. But I think this will be good. You know, block of 5, so we'll see how it goes.
Will this suit you because you get some consistent time on the board instead of a bit sporadic like it's been?
I know. I get back home, I just don't look at that board. Can't do it on more than now. So we're here, like I say, tomorrow. Might be up and early on the practice board, you never know. But yeah, I'll be fine. That's what I need. I need to get back playing constantly. You know, give me a week or 2 weeks off. It's absolutely useless to me because I just can't get myself to that board.
A repeat of the World Final for you first up against Gezi. It's a tough opener.
It is. I think listen, every game's going to be tough now. You know, every year it gets harder and harder. Yeah, Gezi first game, and I'm sure it's Michael MVG second game. So yeah, chucked in at the deep end, I think.
Where do you assess your game at the moment? Because you said this was going to be your year, but it's been very stop-start. Where is Gary Anderson's game right now?
Yeah, it's not bad. You know, I've had Ryan Seale over the last few days practicing, so I've been putting in a good 3.5 hours of practice. So it's coming there. It's getting there. You know, still some good darts and then some absolute tripe in between. But it's definitely more better than what is bad now.
Did that come as a shock to the system? That must be the most practice you've done in many a year.
Well, the first time we played, I think we'd done probably about between 60 and 70 legs. I could have moved next game morning. My body was absolutely in bits, you know. So, but it was good. You know, it's just good to have somebody I'm practicing with. These youngsters, they all do it online and that. I can't do that. You know, I need somebody in the room to be playing against.
With normality hoping is on the horizon now, will that suit you? Because you said you were going to have a big push this year after the pundits upset you. Back end of the year could be filled with tournaments. Is that when you could come into your own?
It could do, as long as I'm in this country.
I'm guessing by that then you won't be going to the next Super Series in Germany.
Nah, look, you know, I think it's mad, to be honest. You know, I keep my tabs on and using that, and to be across in Europe playing that now, nah, no for me. You know, I just think it's a bit iffy being across there now. But yeah, there's enough to it. It's a pro tour. Should be in this country. You've got the European tour for the European tours. Keep that to that side. Keep the pro tours across here.
Even this early in the year, what you said about that, we were talking about the back end of the year. Does that mean you probably won't play for Scotland in the World Cup again if it's in Europe?
Well, it depends if it's all open. If we're all allowed to travel and it's 100% safe, then yeah, I will be playing. You know, if not, well, like I say, I mean, it's you hear it on the news. Europe's in a mess now. You know, so it's last place I won't be going to play darts.
Gary, pleasure as always, mate, and wish you the very best for the Premier League.
Thank you, Philip.
Hi, Gary. Good to see you. Are you a bit of a shock to the system? It must be for you right now to be stuck in a hotel room, because I think you spent more time fishing, and that's what I gather you prefer to do. I
don't get time to fish now. I'm too busy working. You know, I'm up bright and early in the morning, boys, working away out in the fresh air, loving it. But yeah. Well, not much to do in lockdown. I could have been practicing, but fishing always calls first. It's just now, I think. But it's back. Like I say, it's going to be strange playing 5 days in a row in the Premier League, where it's usually once a week over 16 weeks, I think it is. And it'll be interesting.
You seem to play your whole being in the Premier League as a bit of an underdog now, because you sort of in the World Championship, you never got anywhere near your A game, but you made the final. You did the same in the match play last year. I mean, is that quite nice for you to sort of just go in sort of saying, you know what, it's a blank canvas, whatever I do, I'm the underdog?
Yeah, that's it. You know, I know where my game is now, and it's nowhere near, you know, and it's, like I say, I keep winning games and getting to finals. Luck's a bit of luck on your side. You always need a bit of luck, you know, but yeah, like I say, the few nights I've been playing with Ryan, there's been some good signs. So, yeah, who knows what's going to happen over the next 5 days.
Is the Gary Anderson A game still there somewhere?
Somewhere, but it's finding it. Don't know where it is now, but we'll find it one day, I think, hopefully. But
yeah, are you confident? Are you confident of finding that A game?
Oh, come. You know, it's just down to the more I play, the better I'll get. You know, and it shows that the other night practicing with Ryan. You know, the first night it was good. Second night was a heck of a lot better. And it's just, I think, like I say, I sometimes go weeks and weeks without even looking at a dartboard. You know, so to turn up and play darts and do what I have been doing, you know, it's there somewhere, but just quite no right.
Okay, well, listen, good luck tomorrow night, and again, thanks for your time. Cheers, Gary.
Thank you.
Hi, Gary. You're almost a veteran of this Premier League now. How do you assess this year's lineup? Obviously, 3 newcomers, and a lot's been made about players that are coming into this not in the best of form, perhaps.
Yeah, it's hard. You know, it's like I say, it's all the boys are kind of the routine of playing. You know, every weekend we usually away, and when Premier League was on the road, you know, you'd have your Premier League and then you'd be away the following day to the next tournament over the weekend. Now it's kind of stop and start. You know, you'll be on for a few days and then you've got a few weeks off and then you're back. So I think all the boys will struggle to maybe start off until they get back into a routine. And then I think once the routine settles down, you'll see all the boys hitting the scores and the checkouts like they usually do.
And just looking back on last year's Premier League, you made the semi-finals again, but did it feel like a big missed opportunity against Glenn, the way that game went?
It did. Glenn never played his best, and I wasn't even close, you know. So yeah, could have had a run, you know. But like I say, Premier League getting played behind closed doors is we're used to standing in front of can be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000 people. You know, it's a completely different atmosphere when you've got the supporters in. So it's still a bit strange playing in an empty room.
You mentioned about practicing with Ryan Seale. Has that almost given you a new lease of life coming into the season?
Well, we'll do. You know, we've just done it over the last few days. You know, we're as the year goes on, hopefully we can get probably banging heads 2 or 3 times a week. So I think that the more that we play, the better I'll get, and hopefully the better Ryan gets. You know, because I think Ryan's one of the best out there. You know, he's one of these players that is just waiting to like that fuse and kick off. You know, he's a very, very talented player. So it's I've got to play well if I'm taking legs off him. You know, and it's and him the same. You know, so I think it's good practice for the two of us.
And during the World Championship, you said 2021, you're going to really attack this year. Is the Premier League where it could really kick off for you? Could it be the perfect platform?
I hope so. Like I say, we played, I don't know, 4, 8 of the Pro Tours, or the Summer Series, or whatever we call it, and it's not as much as what we're used to. Usually, come January, bang, we're bang on it again, you know. But it's like I say, it's a stop-start situation. I need to be out playing people. Can't do it alone. Can't stand at a practice board alone. It drives me nuts. So to actually have Ryan come across and start playing, at least I'm getting somebody to play against.
Thanks for your time, Gary, and all the best next week.
Cheers, thank you.
Gary, just on the blocks of events, you were very dangerous towards the latter end of the Premier League last year, and the match play as well, obviously reaching the final. Do these sort of blocks where you can gather a bit of momentum and sort of feed off the games you do play, do they really suit you?
Yeah, I think so. It means I'm on the board over the next 5 days instead of having a couple of days here, a week off, a couple of days back on the board, you know. So we're here, so what we've got to do, stay in a hotel and play darts. So it's got to do me the world of good.
Obviously, everybody would want the fans back in, but is the lack of travel maybe a plus for you in the fact that you're there and you don't have to be travelling here, there, and everywhere for the Premier League?
Yeah, it's going to be different. You know, it's definitely going to be different. You know, we're going to miss out our venues that we go to. You know, we go to Manchester, Aberdeen, Glasgow. We're all over. You know, across the Belfast and Ireland, and you know, it's great to go to the venues, but it's going to be different just playing in the one venue over the duration. So yeah, it's the same for all the boys. You know, the newcomers are coming. I think they're getting broken in quite easy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no crowds. When they turn up and there's 10,000 folk at the back of you, different kettle of fish then, you know. So it's I think they're getting an easy start to the Premier League.
So would you say the likes of Johnny, Dimmy and Jose, they've all won events at Milton Keynes, obviously.
Yeah.
Do you think they've got a little bit of an advantage not having a crowd?
Yeah, I think it'll suit them. You know, they've been up there, they know what the stage is like. Like I say, when you walk out, you see 5,000 people behind you. It's a different feeling walking up there. You know, gets the old heart pumping, but it's not to be just now. So enjoy it before the big crowds come in.
No, cheers for your time, Gary.
Cheers, there.
Gary, heading into the Premier League this year, what would you say the overriding feeling is for you?
I'll tell you tomorrow night when we start playing. No, I'm actually looking forward to it. You know, there's 5 nights. You know, if you have a bad start to it, or the first 2 nights that are bad results, then you've got your work cut out. You know, you can't play this 5 days with any more than 3 losses. If you have 3 losses in the next 5 nights, you're in trouble, I think.
You mentioned the stop-start nature of this year so far. How difficult has it been to have several days off and then get yourself up for the next event?
Well, it's hard for me. You know, I've been having 7, 14, 21 days off. It is hard because, like I say, once I get home, I don't look at a dartboard. You know, I just can't do it. I try practicing myself, and it just does not work for me. You know, I last about 10 minutes, and that's it. It's off to dreamland, you know. But it's like I say, with Ryan coming round, at least I've got actually somebody in the room playing against. You know, I can see the pace that he throws up. I've got somebody walking past me as I throw. So to me, that's what I need in my game. You know, I need to be physically playing against somebody, not over a TV screen or a laptop screen. You know, I need somebody in the room to play against.
Of course, there won't be any travel this year, so you won't get the chance to play in front of 10,000 rowdy Scots. Just how different will it be playing in Milton Keynes, no crowd, and just getting up for that?
Yeah, it definitely is different. You know, I mean, I quite like the quiet stage, but there again, I like the crowd. You know, but like I say, with Johnny and Yossi and Dimitri and that, and their first time walking on that stage in front of Premier League crowds, you know, that's when you go, what the heck am I doing here? You know, that's when the nerves kick in, and it shows where the bottle's about at that stage. But yeah, up there, like I say, Johnny's played on these stages. Milton Keynes boys have spent probably the last 5 months here playing, so they're quite used to it.
What do you make of the block format?
It saves us a lot of time. You know, this 5 days in Milton Keynes, that's 5 weeks saved. You know, we're travelling every week, so I think it's good. I think the boys will be constant. Like I say, the first couple of nights might be a wee bit rusty, but once they get into it, I think you'll see some of the top darts coming out again.
Gawain first up, and then it's Josie on night 2, a newcomer. What do you make of the schedule for those first 5 nights? What have you set yourself? What have you set yourself in terms of targets?
I thought I'd MVG second night. Sorry lads, made a mistake. Yeah, listen, it's like I say, if you go the 5 nights with 3-4 losses, then you're going to need a miracle, I think. So if you can get probably 6 points minimum out of the 5 nights, I think you're in with a shout.
Brilliant. Thanks for your time, Gary, and best of luck for next week.
Cheers, Andrew.
Thank you.